Aaron, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Yeah, good to be here.
That's a live look, courtesy of the Live View Solo, which is an amazing product. At the Camaro, we're going to show people live the interior, all sorts of other things, and some more of the Chevy booth. Welcome to the program, by the way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad to see you with the car there. We call it Arrest Me Red.
Arrest Me Red, I like that.
Or Red Hot.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Red Hot. I'll tell you, I've spent a lot of wheel time in the older generation Camaro, and I got a chance here at the auto show a number of years ago to take it for a press ride. With James Ahedebo, who was a New York Jet at the time, and that was a lot of fun. We tore up the pavement in the city.
Yeah.
They said, don't speed. When I came back, the tires were smoking. They said, I told you not to speed. I didn't. We didn't go over the speed limit.
Right, yeah.
You know, when the car's not moving and the wheels
That's
are spinning.
right. Yeah, just the rear tires are
Isn't that the
exceeding.
best part about Camaros?
Boy, it's hard to put a finger on one best thing.
But I mean, it's just it's the torque and the performance.
You're right. Yeah, the rawness that you can achieve, the performance. Now we have a bunch of different engines you can select from: 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, and now this car is supercharged 8-cylinder.
Supercharged 8-cylinder. The Z01, is that the model number?
That's correct. Yeah.
And this car has gotten lighter. It's gotten slimmer. That was my one knock on it. It was a little heavy, a little lopey, let's say, just a little bit, especially in the corners. It's a big car.
It is, yeah. We kind of say we wore the scarlet letter of mass for a while with the 5th gen. This 6th gen car has completely shed that, and we've kind of turned the table now where we're the lightest in the segment.
I really like how the car looks. It's so aggressive, and it's so beautiful, and you've done a great job with the fit and finish. Let's talk a little bit about the interior, and hopefully we'll get some shots of the interior going as well at some point. But obviously we need to look at the back as well, and the front, and the sides, and I got to talk about the wheel setup. But talk about the interior and some of the features you added.
Sure. Yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise for people, I think. 2 years ago, the cars were seen in camouflage, but no one could see inside. So a year ago, when we introduced it in May, the interior was probably one of the biggest surprises. Big upgrade over the 5th gen in style and materials and features. So one of the biggest oohs and ahs we got was the ambient lighting feature in the car.
I don't know if we're going to be able to show a shot of that. We're going to try. It might be locked. Is it locked? Probably.
No, there was people in there earlier.
We'll tell them to get a shot of the interior because I'd love to see that. But certainly those wheels look huge. Are those 22s?
20s.
20s.
Yeah, I think the way we do the flange now, though, it makes it look bigger.
So it starts with the regular Camaro, which would be the RS?
Even a step down from that, I guess. Not really a step down, but the LT model. You can get a 1LT or 2LT with a 4-cylinder turbo, which is the first time ever in Camaro.
A 4-cylinder turbo?
Yeah. And at first we were all
How
like...
much horsepower does that have?
275.
That's pretty... Out of a 4-cylinder?
It is, yeah.
Wow, and the gas mileage has got to be ridiculous.
Yeah, 31 on the highway. And you can get that every day. It's not a pie-in-the-sky number.
What's
it's
the curb weight on the car?
About 3340.
Really? That's not bad.
It's really good on the 4-cylinder, so it's really lightweight and nimble, really good package. 2 years ago when we said we're doing a 4-cylinder, it was kind of like,
when you said that, I was like, Camaro and a 4-cylinder?
Really?
Janny's watching in Finland now. He's a huge fan of the Camaro, and I'm sure when I said 4-cylinder, he was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
No need to worry. And then this is coming from a guy, I've worked on supercharged V8 since 2006 at GM. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. That's all I've worked on.
And now you're like,
until
hey,
this,
we've got a 4-cylinder that's turbocharged.
And it's legit. I tell you, I love it. It is won us all over. We're all kind of big muscle gearheads, and
you have to
works.
Be working on Camaro.
Yeah, you do. It fits, but this thing is no slouch. And in fact, we went to Germany with that car and the SS, and it had no problem keeping up on the highways.
Are you serious?
That was the first time we were like,
but 275 is a lot of horsepower.
It is.
And it's
the
a light car.
Torque's even higher.
Wow.
It's just,
and so what's the entry point on that car pricing-wise?
$26,000.
So you're making a very affordable Camaro that's obtainable.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is there's no limitations on options. So if you want that engine with every bell and whistle, you can get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, well, if I have to get the 4, then I can't get better nav or a better screen inside or leather, blah, blah, blah. It's all available.
And heated seats.
Heated and cooled.
Heated and cooled.
And then a new feature is a heated steering wheel, which we kind of thought, wow, do we really need this?
No, you need that.
But people love it.
I love the heated steering wheel.
That's one of the best things we've done.
I got to tell you, Chevrolet used to be in the back of the pack with technology. as far as in-car, like heated seats, entertainment, all that. Now you guys have really, in the last few years, moved to the front of the pack.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
really impressive.
No, I agree. I think part of it stemmed from supplier relations, where they wouldn't show us their newest, best stuff, and hey, you guys should check this out for 2 years from now. Now we have that, where
That's really
they're willing and able to show us, and we partner with them to develop an ambient lighting kind of feature
Sure.
with Hella as the supplier
I don't
of
know
that.
why they wouldn't do it in the past, but I'm glad they do it now.
Yeah, it'd probably before my time.
Sure.
But
So you
I
made that
agree.
relationship. You went and said, this is unacceptable.
Well, not me, but a lot of the
Yeah.
leadership at GM kind
love
of
it.
said, suppliers, we need you on board with us, so we are at the forefront.
This 6th-gen Camaro is pretty amazing.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed by it. And
Yeah.
and I love, it's a car you can really have fun in, but it's also practical. You can put the family in. I like that. And I like that you can add features that you want even in the lowest model,
Right.
and you can tweak it the way you want it to be.
Right.
It's still a very user-friendly car. It's still a very much a car you can work on, where a lot
Yeah.
of cars today are buttoned up. You can't work on it yourself. Not that I'm that guy, because I'm not, but I think that it's cool that you can. And I like that, like, you went to Hella and said, let's work on a lighting package to give this ambient light. I think that's
Right.
cool. It appeals certainly to a younger generation.
Yeah, we're really excited about the Turbo 4 model coming out. It trailed the V6 and V8 by about 3 months, so it's just now hitting dealers. But that engine is so open to modification. The tuners, the young guys, the fast and furious kind of turbo crowd, they're going to love this thing because it's a low entry point, and then each
Right.
year you can just
Tweak it a little.
get that thing to 1,000 horsepower.
Right, 1,000 horsepower out of a four-cylinder.
Yeah,
and it's
it's
possible.
happened.
Yeah, it's going to be fun at 1,000 horsepower. Now, and
Yeah.
you could fit the 20s on you could fit the 20s on the entry level car.
Yep, yeah.
How
That's
much horsepower is the top of the line, the Z01?
640 estimated. We haven't officially blessed it yet, but that's
But
about what
estimated
it'll be.
640 coming out of the gate, and then you can take it from there.
Yeah, people
I'd
always
leave it stock.
Oh, I think it's plenty, and I think the lengths we go to verify or validate that number,
Sure.
and 100,000-mile warranty kind of thing. It's
How
pretty
many
hard to
sets
beat.
of tires do you want to go through every time you drive the car?
Yeah, I
That's
would
the question.
recommend buy stock in Goodyear before this car comes out because they're going to have quite a few of these things spent.
Yeah,
You can go through it very quickly.
absolutely.
They're very grippy, but
Is the visibility better? That was my biggest, I said, okay, heavy, a little lopey, but my biggest gripe
Right.
with the old car is that A-pillar was so big, the
Right.
windshield was so narrow. I mean, I'm a small guy, I
Yeah.
could barely see out of the car.
Right.
And when bigger guys would get in, they couldn't see at all.
right.
Is it better? Is it improved?
It's better in places. I wouldn't say it's 100% everywhere
Okay.
better. The down vision forward is better.
Okay.
And that's probably the biggest improvement. The A-pillars are thinner, so
Okay.
those are improved as well. The rear vision didn't improve.
We just put a camera in there. We don't
We
even
have
have
that.
to worry
So
about
that's
it. You do?
kind of how the workaround, I guess you could
Right.
say, is we've got blind zone alert. So most cars have that now in the mirror.
Sure.
There's a little orange emblem that shows up that lets you know somebody's in your blind spot. And then we have the reverse camera as well.
You can now add these cameras, which I think is a great feature. And I just drove a car the other night with night vision, and I said, how do I approach this? And they said, use it like your rear view mirror. And then I realized at CES, McLaren showed off with Kenwood a rear view mirror that's a camera, and it was all
Right.
three mirrors.
Yes.
And it was so much better than looking there, than looking there, than looking there.
Right. You get the full
And
vision.
so eventually, I imagine it won't matter if we have a back window. We'll just have cameras everywhere.
Right. Yeah, we have that on the new Cadillac CT6,
Awesome.
the luxury car.
I like that.
Mhm.
I got to check that out
Yeah.
too. And so you've got the cameras, you've got the blind spot detection, navigation, you got everything. It looked like you might have a HUD in there too.
There is, yes, standard on ZL1, good eye again.
Thank you.
And in fact, an added feature for the ZL1
Yeah.
is
I keep seeing ZL1, the ZL1. sorry.
ZL, yep. Shift lights in the HUD.
Nice.
So it accelerates so quickly, and especially with the
I like how
10-speed
you went through all the
trans.
trouble to move the tack, and now you have a HUD.
Right, yeah. I mean, they're somewhat redundant, but yeah, it's the right thing to do. With our 10-speed trans and the manual as well, this thing goes through the gear so quickly, it really needs those lights to tell you when to shift.
Sure.
Otherwise, you'll bang into the rev limiter and lose time.
What's the red line?
6,500 RPMs. And yeah, the HUD is a really nice feature. So it's a color HUD with shift lights to tell you, and we make them preemptive, so they're predicting before you get there. You get a little extra time.
It's such a beautiful car. Let's take one more look.
Yeah,
This is Aaron.
thank you.
I'm Michael. Aaron, thank you so much
My
for coming
pleasure.
on. You're
Yeah,
phenomenal.
good speaking with you.
@BeTerrific TV on all social media.